Hello everyone, wow, was that a trip, guys? We just went through all of Alexander in about, say that's probably about 5 or 6 hours worth of video right there. We did the first two sets back to back, and then the last one was done 2 days afterwards. In any case, I think I have enough. I need the wrist and my 2 rings. So let's go ahead and get my custodian's rings here. I need 2 of them. You only could have one of this item. What? That doesn't sound correct. Let's see. Bracelet. Shire Custodian bracelet. Let's see. Keep on, like, throwing myself off here. 250. All I need is the other ring. That's strange. Why am I not allowed to have 2 of them? Guess I'll take that one then. Why not? It's only letting me have, So I was fairly certain the Custodian's ring is the correct one for my tanking, but I guess I'll have to pick one that's not quite the same. Strength, Vitality. That'll work out, I guess. Yep, 260. 260 in the bag. Honestly, I didn't know that because the last time I did this stuff to get the higher end stuff, I didn't complete it completely. I skipped out on some accessories and I didn't get the sword and shield because I had the relic at the time. But yeah, we have a full set now. That's actually pretty neat. Just got just enough through Alexander, and probably if I get a bunch of more poetics, I might just like dump them into my relic weapon questing or something. And I also changed out my toolbar, as you can see. I now have 3 hotbars, I mean. So pretty neat. Nothing super like different about it. I have a couple more texts in there that I didn't have on my hotbars before. I figured it was about time that I had to go up to another hotbar. Because everything besides, like, Divine Vel. Divine Vel and the Limit Break is pretty much everything I need. Because the Limit Break I realize I probably should have, just in the rare case I might actually need it for another boss-type battle. But let's go ahead and, let's go ahead and head the Tail Feather, get some of this story out of the way here, because we've been, not paying much attention to that for a while now, and so I want to go ahead and take this video and try and move that up a bit. If I remember this correctly, I believe this should be the 200th video. Either that, I'm going to look like a dummy now that I've said that, but I'm pretty sure I numbered these right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just grab what we need here. Oh, that's over there, okay. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravenian soil would be at the head of the army. And here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of my enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it is to be set aside the past, though it was I who first proposed recruiting Ysel to our schaz. I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocents on her hands, men, women, and children, all slain in the name of applicable Lady Isard. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in our common cause. At our side, she fought in service of the greater good, even until her dying breath. Now let us absolve her of her sins. I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphanad, and who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course, we must press on to Axe Shrine, if you will follow me. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and, just fly around here. No reason not to. We have all current available things unlocked, so may as well. It's gonna take some time getting used to that spot where that top bar is sitting at now. I lowered the first one a little bit, but it's still taking up a bit more space on my screen than I'm used to. Might be also because I'm using a rather large mount here at the moment too. That's barely above the hotbar. But yeah, we're just about here now. Oh, is it back here or is it up here somewhere? That's what I'm wondering. So I should be able to get up to the 3rd floor, I think, from here. Why is this dragon just kind of hanging out here? It's kind of weird. Oh, I can't, get up completely here? Let me see. Yeah, no, it makes no sense for them to be up that far. Guess I have to go up from the, inside. Not seeing any other way. Let's see, up this way, I think, right? No, it must be another way, because I'm not seeing the, Or is it down below? I'm not sure. Huh. I thought there was a floor above this now, for some reason. Maybe this is top floor. Aha, there they are. Okay. They're all ever welcome here, friend of Ysel. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive this unannounced visit, Vidofnir. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofnir. I have come as envoy of Sir Ermic, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed, you may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be architects of this war, but now we know the truth, that King Thordan and his knights, 12, did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratiskoskir, shattering the peace between our people. For 1,000 years our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Urzael Dragoon and Uzael. Lest a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Uzael once did, and we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofnir, join hands with us in friendship once more before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, Knight, however I cannot give you my answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire, he must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Fear not, Knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon, my humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Well, that was kind of given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I'm surprised her proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take the opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Charlotte. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in our search for our missing comrades. I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that this sacrifice was not in vain. Of that you have no doubt, Master Alphanod. I only hope that fates will not hold you to your word. So it seems we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful. I should be interested in hear how she means to go about finding Mephilia and Thancred. I only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Istola in Eldershire. Alright, let's go ahead and head there then. Alright, off this way then. We still have content here at the end of Evan's Ward to do. In fact, there's 3 more trials to do for sure, of the Warring Triad, which we heard a little bit about at the end of Evan's Ward. And Arndt, it's good to see you. I confess, I had assumed your business in Ag's Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting of Vidofnir go well? As well as it can be expected, she must discuss Sir Ermic's proposal with Houskvir, of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlenian guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained to you that you'd be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. Actually, I don't really need to use this rampkit at the moment. Let me go ahead and just sprint out. Actually, no, this way? Okay. Waiting, waiting.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss. And who is that I spy but young Alpha No Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
We, Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Alright, off we are again. Guess so we have to go back to, Master Matoya's cave, which is a bit of a go here. Yeah, it's definitely worth getting the flying, ether currents. the traveling is made so much easier for it. Somebody's been here recently, I guess, because I saw a dead enemy on the ground. Ah, yep, there they are. Did say we're heading for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya beating us in the way or something? Bush in my face. I've heard so many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured they are all true, this way, and have care where you tread.
Is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Cryle, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Cryle, you too possess the Echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance. But never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock, I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Alright, I guess our big adventure is going to be trying to find Thancred again. Oh wait, this is not where I want to go. Where am I going? I could just teleport, actually. Go back to Tailfeather. Alright, there they are. Where I find myself in unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown alliance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kryl. I have already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory. Skill acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. First, we split into two pairs. You still and I will acquire the outlining encampments, while Narn and Krail question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Asvath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let's be about it. Well, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you finish making your rounds. Alright, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and move out around here and see what we can find. Yeah, there's one right in front of us. Searching for a friend of yours. Let's have a look then. No, ain't seen him around, sorry. Looks like this one should be in the house, I think. What you got there, Sketch? I can't say I know the face. You say something of a warrior. I heard a tale the other day about a Hyrule vagabond who brought down a Bandersnatch by himself and with a style. You can tell it. He was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of the Bleeding Ball. Sounds like your man? That's probably the big hint they're going to give us. I imagine this guy's probably not going to have anything. Hyrule man? Well, not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? Did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river, to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. Lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Okay, that's interesting. So there was a little bit more information there. Oh, that was like super close, actually. Finished. In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. Alright, now I can fly. The fact that they wanted to meet over here is kind of curious. Aha, here we go. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it would be wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Hyrule hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chance to see the man's face, his height and build matched Thancred's description, so does his fighting prowess. So you've heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we may yet want for conclusive proof. Yet this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You're implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market instead. Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the ice stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. Stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, then he should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Kral. Quite right. That probably is why we're right next to their village here. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Los Vath. Let's go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone. Come along. Great hunters, we welcome you once more to Lost Vath. What do you seek this day? You seek a man with whom we are told you may have certain dealings. How curious, the hunters tire of godly sport and pursue mortal prey. No, he's not prey, but a friend long missing. Good, he's a friend to the Vath as well, one whom we've traded many times. Surely, you're quite certain it is this man. There's no doubt, the fresh cloth and skins came to us from Salmal, lost and weak. He offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange we tended to his wounds. He brought us much flesh, so skilled a hunter he was, much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to Lost Vath, not long ago, when he heard that one mine had summoned our god once more. Ravana has returned. Vidofnir did say the Nath had grown as before. What could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could pay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Good, great hunters, let the Nath claim as a sacrifice. Okay. Might have to fight Ravana again? Thought we had a deal with this guy though, as far as I remember. Okay, there's the first fighting spot apparently. I should be able to just like wipe these guys. Or something close to that. Yeah, that's about right. I remember having trouble with these guys when I first came through here. Okay.
Who else could be? Thancred. It could be Thancred. We must hurry.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever!
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not! So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea. It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them? Not very sporting of you to interrupt. But so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light. For we are the warriors of darkness. Walkers of a different path. And we shall meet again.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
Thancred, are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
Alrighty.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our party? The heroic last stand, the tunnels filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the live stream in the all together. Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more?
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed warriors of darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the warrior of light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Alright, well we actually got Thancred back pretty quickly in this after expansion questline here. Blessed with the power of the Echo and driven to put down primals, despite his declaration that we walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such ancestral individuals would wholly escape our nose until now. Surely we have heard rumors or attempted to recruit them to our cause. Call no such adventurers, I would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of our primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how Thancred found Narn. The memories, it seems just like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speak of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. Leave it to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers had been traveling the land slaying primals without our knowledge. It would imply gross negligence on our part. Speculation avails not. There is far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, and namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofnir must be informed. News may render her more receptive to Sir Ermek's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony has given me a sticking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg your assistance with the search for Mephilia. Wait, Mephilia is missing? I thought she escaped with Narn. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. Alright. Oh, they put us right in front of it. Very nice, okay. Where Where is the staircase? Here it is. Got our little onion knight with us. Still have another minion I haven't popped out yet. I'm keeping this one for a little bit. Right in here, okay. I had not thought to see you again so soon, mortal. If you thought to seek us the night, know that she had long since departed for Ishgard. My thanks, Vidar, but it was not her that we came. We getting good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Noth, has been laid low. Truly, once more the mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fail. You have our deepest thanks. With that we take credit, the god fell by another's hand. Another, revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it's cause for celebration. Now I'll have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation? As promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years have I mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth she wrapped herself in a dream, yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed and became his light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe, such is the folly and the glory of a man, and of dragon. He had entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. You accept Sir Ermic's invitation. Let it be known that I, Vidar, shall journey out to Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honored to receive your answer, and I will convey your words to our allies without delay. It is happening, Ysael. Would that you were here to see it. Am I going into another cutscene?
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another. Honorable men, to whom Sir Emeric was no hero, but a scheming patricide. Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
Alright, time to head to Foundation. There they are. Right, let's not keep Sir Ermic waiting. Very quite well, Thancred. Yes, yes, quite well, forgive me. You have given me a rather lot to digest. This whole affair of the Ishgardians and the Dravinians, and our friends nowhere to be found. It would seem there is no end to our troubles. We can but face them head-on, one at a time. For now we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks and leave the others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you, as they found me. In time we'll find Nita, Palpamo, and Mephilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we'll look back on together. Pray do not misunderstand, I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined our grand adventure at one of its more triumphant moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. I have no doubt that we can enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough. And be rest assured that I'll play my part in them to the very hilt. I know you will. So then, to the congregation. I believe it should be up here, I think. This is probably going to be an awkward moment. You've returned, and at least this the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. It pleases me to inform you that Vidofnir has accepted Sir Amrek's invitation. She has. These are glad tidings indeed. Would that the Lord Commander was here to hear them. Is he otherwise engaged? Aye, sleeping off a knife to the gut. What happened? Where will he live? The surgeons tell me that he'll make a full recovery, but had Lord Edmont and Lord Artael not been at hand when the assassin struck, he had not been so fortunate. For mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land the telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, belongings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flame. That's just caught us completely by surprise. We've been dousing the fires, but for every one we put out, it seems like 2 more start up. Casualties are mounting, especially in the Broom. This plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Until they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Then let us be about it. Jeez. Huh, okay. The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found. Suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise locations where the fire is set? Mayhap there is a pattern. If there is, we have yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city, in both the pillars and foundation. Indeed, given the size of the area infected, I think it would be best to divide our forces. Master Alphanod and Mr. Istola would have you take charge of the investigation foundation. As you wish. Mayhap Chitara can be of assistance as well. And Ignar and me got the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Theron creator of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and may I say it's a pleasure to meet you too, my lady. I'll bet. The name's Hilda, a Scion, eh? And there I was thinking I'd found a fellow ruffian amongst all these mysterious personages. I remain here to coordinate the fire-quenching effort. If you've learned not aught of your value, pray inform me immediately, that is all. Well, we could begin by sifting through charred rubble and questioning a random passerby. In my experience, every town has at least one individual who can be counted on to know things he or she should not. Oh, aye, the infamous Lord Alman de Fortemps, lover of women and wine. Though neither care for him that much. They say he could gossip for Ishgard. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Naran. He'll be at the Crozier most like, making an effort to be seen. Let's go and see him. Grizzled I'll accept, but old? Okay, we need to get up to the pillars. Oh yeah, I can't fly in the city, that's right. Oh, it took less damage than I thought it was going to. Okay, I think it's down here. Oh, if it isn't Narn, dearest of all my friends. You're looking rather glum. Something the matter, old girl? Yes, the arsons. Dreadful business, that, and awfully curious, wouldn't you say? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with most of the other houses. Can't have the old Polygonk in flames, after all. But in case you're wondering why the Hoplon is awash of refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been opened to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. Sir Ermig's orders, from what I hear. Remarkable man, not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old girl, if you were thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to Hoplon. While I conduct your inquiries, I could offer words of comfort to the distressed and despondent young maidens. Wait a moment, I know what that is. You're giving me one of your looks, aren't you? You do me an injustice, old girl. I'll have you know my heart yearns for one rose, prickly that she may be. And since you remain unconvinced, very well, if I will help you prove the purity of my intentions, I shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? Never mind, for our next step I suggest we divide our efforts. While you question the refugees in the Hoplon, Narn, I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be good as to join me, Hilda? You know what, I reckon I would. I can't have you roaming about in an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You only get robbed blind and left shivering in your small clothes. Alright. Guess this way. Let me check the map, actually. Yeah, okay, it looks like it's, this way? Yeah, okay. This looks correct, maybe. Come, my brothers and sisters, there is food and shelter enough for all in the Beliska. Helen's blessings be upon you, father. I confess, we're not sure if we should come. There are so many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop and Sir Ermic and the Dravinians. Trust in your heart, brother. I pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Do you require succor as well, miss? So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good, this madness has gone on far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search, but I have a duty to these poor souls. Fulfill and may the Fury guide your steps. There was a man with a satchel. I saw him kneeling outside the window, and then there was smoke everywhere. It was so hot I couldn't breathe. Don't remember how I made it out. I suppose I must have climbed. Maybe my arm is getting better after all. Where's this other one at? Is it down below? Oh, there they are. Okay. Ours was one of the first homes to be claimed, but I didn't see how the fire began. It was only when I heard our neighbors shouting that I looked outside and saw the flames. We barely escaped with our clothes on our backs. We're not for the church's generosity. I don't know what we'd do. Kinda find it questionable. Alley-oop. Ah, there you are. Anything to share? We require more than the muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we were to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, you inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near Sir Ralamad's cathedral and another one near the tribunal. For our mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Some might say they were spared by the grace of Fury. Others might question how much ruthlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on the two occasions where their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it does give me one cause to wonder. Alphanon will doubtless have an opinion. Okay, is there a shard around here somewhere? Where's the closest shard? Okay, over this way. Where are they? Sometimes they're up on the stairs or whatever here, so let me check. Okay, I don't see them up here, so they must be down here somewhere. Oh, there they are, okay. Silence will avail you not, sir. No, I was just about to summon you. As you can see, we've detained a suspect. Found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. Wished to have words, he did not, so we insisted. Let me go, damn it! You've got the wrong man. My, but you reek of oil, and are those burns on your hands? An occupational hazard, I suppose, but tell me, does arson pay well? I'm a victim, you imbecile, look at me. Aye, that you are, after a fashion. You should know that your Imperious patron has already spun a delightful yarn about how his pet mongrel slipped the leash and set about burning half the city to the ground. Not very moral of him, I grant you, but then these highborn types rarely do show loyalty to their pets. In fact, he called you rabbit and begged us to put you down. That's bollocks, he's the one that told me to keep going. Even a sinner such as me could find salvation in the Fury's work, he said. I left him behind, tried to, with all my heart. Said my prayers every day like a good man, but he came to me. He came to me. And there you have it, Hilda. Would you be so kind to escort our friend here to the congregation? As long as you don't mind he's limping when he gets there. That was incredible, Thancred, but how'd you know he would confess? Well, I've seen his like before. A troubled soul manipulated by men of power and put it as a weapon. Could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it was worth the risk. And if our captain had called your bluff, must we entertain hypotheticals? The world has been vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, you have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. think it is best we now return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. Alrighty, back to Lucia then. I think we can go ahead and take that shard again. Wherever it was, I don't remember. There it is. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishkar, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak, though he fell silent upon realizing that we had not turned his master. He soon tell us what he knows, one way or another. Pardon the intrusion, my first commander. Ah, Lord Artiel. Have you come to see your father? He is attending Sir Ermac in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me to bring his salve. And do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more. My lord Artio did not seem to be in the best of spirits. Just a little wonder, Master Alphanot. His father is widely slandered, and his half-brother not yet cold in the grave. Okay. Oh, that's neat. And a little wind-up parka font. Nice.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Far too many to count.
Lord Commander, your wounds.
Are healing well. Thank you. Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
Ridiculous! I mean, do they honestly think that executing Sir Emmerich would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
At once, Lord Commander.
Hilda, I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Of course.
We are in your debt.
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms, then, friends. Time is against us.
Alrighty. Okay, we need to get to the pillar, so let's go back to the last vigil, I guess. Also, we got this here. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, max motion. Oh, nice. That's interesting. Let's see. Don't think it's, no, it's not as good as what I have, unfortunately. Alright, we got a little bit of a ways to go here, I think. Can I get around this way? I'm actually not sure. This way, okay, yeah. Oh, there's a shard right here, too. What is this shard? Hang on. Oh, okay. Guess they must be, like, right over here, I assume? Or not? What the heck? At least they let me go over that fence. Listen well, we will enter Ballista silently via this gate. According to our latest reports, there are at least 6 hostages being held within. Numbers and readiness of the true brothers of the faith are unknown. I'm told one claimed to have served under Thornton the 7th. Might be the same, be true of the rest. Given the swiftness of which they seem to control the vault, I think it's highly likely yes, which means they may well possess the knowledge required to turn the building's defenses against us. Be that as it may, we have no choice but to press on. Lord RTL, you are a brave man and true, and none would dare question your honor if you choose not to risk your life in this endeavor. Are you certain you wish to join us? I'm no stranger to the battlefield, Sir Ermic. My arm will not falter, my shield will not break. How alone as I witness, will bring these fanatics to justice. Well said, my lord. Friends, follow me. Oh, it's not a dungeon. Okay, I was thinking it was gonna be. All right. Oh, we're all going in here. Okay. Okay, so they'll start trying to kill the refugees if we don't hurry up. All right. They actually do some damage, which I'm happy about. Oh, I can heal them. Nice.
Down with you!
All right. Okay, here comes more of them. Should be more of them up ahead here. Yep, here they come. Pretty sure this is the yeah, the vault. So yeah, this is the area of the dungeon we've been through already. There comes something here. Sir Maillard, lay down your arms and release the hostages, so you'll be shown mercy. I give you my word. Ha, the word of a heretic and a kinslayer. I would sooner trust a dragon. Activate the knights. We shall show the hostages the same mercy you showed the Archbishop. Unlike you, Saramek, I'm a man of honor. By my hand you shall receive the Fury's judgment. So it is to be trial, then. Lord Artiel Narn, leave us and save the hostages. I'll deal with Sir Maillard. We go down this way, I assume? Where are we going? How do we shoot? Okay. This way, I think, yeah. Okay, we're taking these down pretty quickly. Oh wow, this guy, like... Oh, that spot over there, okay. It's a good question. Where are they? There they are. Okay, get rid of him. Alright, we found them. Now, where's the last one? Over here? No, where are they? Oh, they're way back there. Oh no. Oh no. Shoot, are you kidding me? Just wasted my sprint. I didn't realize they were way back there. I need to be there, like, right now. Come on. Why are you all not doing anything? Oh, that's not that. What the heck? Legitimately, where's the last hostage? What the heck? Why are you faking me out? I can't believe that. Hurry up and restart already. Yes, 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 come on. That last one was nowhere to be seen. And I got faked out because they were fighting in the back there. Yeah. Like, I'm legitimately annoyed now by that. Alright, let's move along. I'm trying to think in my head where the last one would be. Is it like up there? Up on like the second story? Because I can't think of anywhere else.
On with you!
There. Just moving right along here. Alright, let's open this up. Let's go. Let's go.
You underestimate me!
Come on. There we go. Yeah, skip the cutscene, let's go. Yeah, it won't let us up there, so it can't be that way. Go ahead and get this done with quickly. Okay. That's the 2 set right here. So the other set should be, Actually, is that gate open over there? No, it's not. The other ones should be around here some. There they are, okay. Alright, I don't know if I got this one before or not. Aramic's already down to almost 60. But we're making good time here, I think. Oh wait, we have to go to Aramic, okay. I must have missed that before. But sure, let's go ahead and get over there. So I died because I didn't go to... Okay. So that was actually my mistake then. Hey, you want a little heal? Okay, that could have worked a little bit better. Alright, I got his aggro, so it doesn't matter now. he healed a little bit there. Ah, the last hostage must be up here. There we are. Okay. Alright. Upstairs this way, I assume. Or we can go into a cutscene.
Where is he? Where is he?
Come no closer!
You have nowhere to run. Release the girl and surrender.
Surrender to whom? The blasphemer who throws wide the gates to our enemy? Who breaks bread with him and calls him brother? Ungodly swine! I would sooner die than surrender to you.
Is it godly to spill the blood of an innocent child? To burn the homes of your brothers? Tell me, priest, is that godly?
Do not speak to me of godliness, heathen! Your father's blood is on your hands, as is hers!
What? But I...
Vidofne!
Well met, knight. Mayhap I chose an inopportune moment.
Not at all. Pray forgive us this most unworthy reception. We are honored to have you with us, and right glad of your aid.
Fortune delivered the child unto me. I had but to receive her.
Thank you for saving me.
Thou art welcome, child.
Never did I think to be indebted to so unexpected a savior. But full glad am I to be so.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, I had hoped to meet with thee. I bear a message from my sire.
From Preisfelder?
Upon returning to our lands, Nidhogg's shade did sing unto his brood, and they for skies unknown did then take wing. This thou must know, for your fates are inextricably bound.
What of Estinian? Is he truly lost to us?
Such matters are beyond my ken. I but bear my father's words. Take from them what thou wilt. Fare you well, mortals.
So it is as they say then. A great white dragon swooped down from the heavens to rescue an innocent child.
A most unexpected turn of events, but not an unwelcome one. The people will not soon forget this day.
Yet how will they choose to remember it, Sir Emmerich? And will these events serve to bring man and dragon closer together, or drive a deeper wedge between brothers? After 1,000 years, the world these men once knew is changing, and with ungentle swiftness to boot. Though their actions are misguided, their sentiments are only to be expected. You may be sure that others will rally to their cause. I share your desire for lasting peace with the Javanians, I do. But I would not see it built on the bones of our countrymen, nor on our own. I see much of Horsefon in you, and I could not bear to mourn the passing of another son.
Lord Edmund.
Alright. Oh, there they are. This has been a day of surprises, has it not? 'Tis but a pity Votimir could not stay longer. Yes, I think it's fair to say that she timed her departure rather less well than her arrival. Well, time scarcely does it justice, but 1 moment later would have been a moment too late. Let us pray that the Ishgarians who yet harbor doubts will take these events to heart, accept the truth of Sir Ermic's words. Well, 'tis only meet that I inform Tataru of what has occurred here. If you have need of me, I shall be at Four Thames Manor. Let me accompany you. Tataru would never forgive me if I left you for the Rising Stones without saying goodbye. A moment, Narn, I wish a word. Tell me, does Thancred seem quite well to you? Guess he does seem a little bit odd. So you sense it too, a subtle change, imperceptible to most. I myself did not notice at first, but upon closer examination I saw that his etheric flow has been improperly disrupted. As a result, I strongly suspect that his ability to manipulate ether has been compromised. Simply put, Thancred may no longer be able to wield magics. It would do much to explain why he chose to remain within the wilderness instead of seeking us out. He'd have been compelled to rely solely on traditional methods of travel, significantly prolonging his journey. When he learned that a nearby beast tribe was making preparations to summon a primal, he may have seemed well sensible to wait. This is a little more than speculation. Until I have proof, pray speak no word of it. Right then, I should make my way. Cryo may have charmed Master Matoya for now, but who can say how long it'll last? Alright, let's head to 4 Temps Manor then. This way. Let's head inside. Alrighty.
That Vidofnir should chance to arrive even as the girl fell. Truly, I could not have planned it better myself.
Ah, good. We were afraid you might have left.
A shield, my lord?
Fit for a true knight. An expression of our gratitude to you and yours. Long overdue. But there is something else I would discuss ere you part. Something which cannot leave this room. My father will soon step down as head of our house. Sir Emmerich was not the only one to fall under suspicion following the death of the Archbishop. There are some who believe my father complicit in a coup d'etat. Thus he intends to renounce his title to absolve our house of suspicion and secure the support of our peers.
Surely there must be another way to convince Houses Durandare and Zamail.
So I said to him. Alas, he will not budge. Ever since I was a child, I knew that I would one day succeed my father. The thought of it filled me with pride. Yet once I learned the day was at hand, my heart was filled with naught but dread. Our legacy is built upon the lies of our forefathers. In accepting this title, am I not perpetuating this injustice? Why should I become the next count?
Not much of an option there.
You sound just like him. I suspect that is what Horsefon would have said. To aid those in need. When you look on that shield, I trust you will remember his words. And should I once more find my resolve wavering, I ask that you show me the way. You are a sister to Horsefon. Will you be a sister to me as well? Come, Manalaine. There's much to be done. For Father, and for Sir Emmerich, and for Ishgard. To think we share the same blood. Pray excuse us.
Those were the days of promises and vows, of tentative first steps into an uncertain future. A future shaped by the choices we made, in ways we could never have foreseen. Born of good and evil, of light and darkness, and shepherded by our hand. Be it for weal, or be it for woe.
Alrighty. This is thy proof, the Gering Oracles, Apocrypha. It is a truth long forgotten, a tale of the beginning and of the path we have been set upon. Our fates were ordained long ago, Archon. The Gerlinians are no exception, nor the Triad. You know what must be done. Well, everyone has their orders. The mask will attack as soon as the units are in position. The Imperials won't know what hit them. I fear it'll be bloody. By regular, it had better be. Couldn't stay here forever, Yuda. We have other responsibilities. I know full well what my responsibilities are, and I mean to fulfill them, every one. Well, at least we know where those two are now. The only one we haven't got anything on is Mephilia so far. Let me see here, though. Little wind-up guy, sure. Let me see for a moment. I believe I have to take the shield off before I can, prism it. Let me see. Or wait, let me hang on a second. Yep, let's do that. I like the look, so we'll go with that. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Ah, yes, okay. Alphana, Narn, I've been looking all over for you. We received news regarding Finland, Hori Boulder, and Cultinet. Really, has something happened? No, nothing is not bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seems that once they learn the Scion's good name has been restored, they board the next ship and bounded for Limsa Nocia. They should be arriving any moment now. Seems to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? When they work, I mean. You don't mind being spied on. Quite. What wonderful news. I think our reunion is close at hand. Pleasure to see you too, Alphanod. Ah, Thancred and Krill. What brings you two of you here? Krill had been looking into how we might track down Mephilia. We may just found the answer. Narn, when you were fleeing your doll of Mephilia, you said that Hydaelyn spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Well, assuming that is true, I see no reason to suspect that it's not. It seems reasonable to conclude that Hydaelyn commanded her to remain behind. That is to say, the Middle Crystal directly interceded to guide Mephilia. Immediately, this is quite hypothetical, but I propose that such intervention, however subtle, must surely leave some residue trace, a lingering disturbance in the ether, a ripple, if you will. In order to establish the existence of such ripples, of course, we require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found, the battleground where Narn fell the ultimate weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy. It was here that Hydaelyn intervened to shield her from the magic I invoked. Krill and I will infiltrate the castrum and analyze the ether within. The two of you alone. I've proven a knack for subterfuge, and I'm confident there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Krill when the patrols pass. Besides, if you and Narn come along, who will see to Vinland's grand homecoming? When you put it like that, very well, I trust you in your plan. I know not whether this data will yield a means to find Mephilia, but it will at the very least illuminate another avenue of inquiry. Jatara and I will return to the Rising Stones and make preparations for our comrade's return. I impose you to meet them at the Limsa docks. I shall see the four of you at the Rising Stones. Safe travels. Alright, we can head that way. Taking a bit of a load in here. Alright, we made it. And we're on the lower decks, which apparently is the correct spot. And this is a lot of people here, actually, at the moment. Is it not here? No, it's here. Okay. Oh, Norn, how have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. Like the 12, one hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I worried about you every day. We would have sent word sooner, but the Braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. Jatara found our way to you, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a vessel. Pained us not to be there when you need us most, but we made the most of it, didn't we, Culturenet? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. We have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust, and with the vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. What do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? Forgive me, I'm sure you're doing everything in your power to find her. And Thancred must be. He watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for her safe return and busy myself in the meantime. For certainly there is much and more to be done. The braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. I ask the spirit, a silence and long overdue reunion. Huzzah. Well, there you have it, to the Rising Stones.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business, then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you've favored me with so much as a single compliment since we set out. Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me. It is true. But not in the way you think. 15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A Gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Uldar. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed. I feared she would never recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoix, every science. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
Alrighty. Oh, time to go to Revan's Toll, apparently. Alrighty. Feels good to be home again. I think that everyone is waiting for us just beyond those doors, friends and family with whom we have shared so much. God's help me, but the older I get, the more sentimental I've become. Come, let us not keep them waiting. Elaine, for me, it fills my heart with joy to see both hale and healthy. What of Higuri? She's well, though abroad on a mission at present. Just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady. We could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with the stalwart companions brings a bloody tear to my eye. Secret oneself in a ship's hold to secure safe passage to a faraway land. This is a tale we all knew too well. When they are well rested, I would like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there is no need to be shy. Pray get me a moment longer at least, though I'm happy to oblige you. My legs are rather less accommodating. Glad though I'm to be home, I cannot help but think of those who have yet to return. Once we've settled in, I would join the search. Ogre, what in the Seven Hills drove my little brother to come to Mordona? Why you, brother, in the science, of course, for the 1,000 days of train, that I might grow as strong as you, that I might fight alongside you. Yet now here we are, I sense that you've surpassed me once more. Now do not tell me you trained with the Hanash, did you? Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have just studied the trial of the braves, and drunk deep of the souls of my enemies. Been so long since I've seen them all like this. Too long. It was the chaos born of my foolish ambition that which forced them to flee. Though they have returned, there are others yet missing, others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alphanod. I know we will. Memphilia, Yida, Palpamo, every last one. And then when they walk through those doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. Oh, neat. Thancred and Krell contacted us a short while ago. It seemed that their foray into Castor Midarium bore fruit. They asked that we rendezvous with them in Nistol and Ittershire, where we'll share their findings. Rude that it is to depart without speaking to the guest of honor. I expect that she'll forgive me if I return with her daughter. The Older Shire it is. Go ahead, just use that, because why not? My apologies, I see that I'm last to arrive, so what news have you for us? Well, as we postulated, there was indeed what appeared to be remnants of an unexplained disturbance in the ether at the scene of the ultimate weapon's destruction. We're both at odds with the preceding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, where I believe Heidelin shielded me with the blessing of light. To cover our findings, we paid a visit to the Silda aqueducts. There was detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect of a more recent disturbance. Heidelin, there is no other explanation. There's more. When I studied the site where you still use flow, it appeared that not 2 but 3 beings had been affected. Yet, unlike Nisholi and Dancred, there was no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there and then not there. Now recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in a sea of ether. Though this too is but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that, when communing with Heidelin, we briefly leave our bodies behind. So let's consider the facts. 1, Heidelin interceded. 2, a third being was caught in Yusto's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3, Heidelin may have capacity to summon the consciousness of a gifted individual to her side. You're implying, I take it, that Heidelin guided Minfilia into the compass of my magic, that she might summon her body and soul into the ethereal sea. In which case, we must need to continue our search there, for a blessing the means to do so already exist. I speak of the Anti-Tower, a Charlanian construction conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I know not where its entrance lies, we need only ask our last custodian, a charming old crone who for another blessing refused to join the Exodius. Master Matoya was the keeper of the Anti-Tower. I had no idea. And our course is clear. We must petition her aid again. Oh, I'm sure she'll be thrilled to talk to us again. No, I think I actually have to leave the city and, like, go find it. Onward we go. It's kind of weird just seeing Alexander, like, just sitting there. Alright, we made it. I'm sure she'll be happy to see us once again. Oh, what a surprise. Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? Although it pains me to admit it, your words strike close to the mark. We humbly ask that you grant us entry to the Anti-Tower. We may use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the Ethereal Sea. And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have to run the place now. If that was no deterrent to you, then by all means. Is that all? Felt sure you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role, hardly. The Forum foisted that title on me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Anti-Tower was sealed save one. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent seeks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. Well, I can remove the wards right now. Will you be going in or not? We will, Master Matoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Mephilia. We'll see about that. Naren can go. Take the Magicless Rogue, too, if you like. He's no use to me. The rest of you will stay and work, and I'll hear no argument. Those are my terms. Oh, and I'd be delighted to accompany you. Lead the way, Naren. Thancred, no. Your etheric flow has been compromised. Do not deny it. The venture into an environment so thick with ether, so close to the Ethereal Sea, would be to risk further impairment or worse. But Memphilia could be in there, waiting for us. And you could die, and for what? If she's waiting beyond, Naren will find her. Trust in her, have faith. Damn it all. Bring her back to us. Alright, and we made it to another dungeon, I assume. So I've been about over 2 hours of this already, wow. Quite a bit of work there. But in any case, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video off here now. And I'll see you guys next time when we'll be doing the Anti-Tower.